Cheers, it's been coming now. Cheers. What is going down? Broke. That's how it's breaking down. Show. That's how it's going down. Joan. How the pitch is there? Won't. Wonder if they get out. Cause your brother man's out. And extended here. Pray. That it never comes. Weep. When you're getting so stay. Never go nowhere. Pray. It ain't coming here.
This is a journey into sound.
Who am I? The war with the blueprint attached to my eye. Who am I? One torn on town to save a life. Who am I?
Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Lepre, King Mike L. This is Legit Fantasy Football, brought to you by LegitPodcast.com. I am in a puppet field. That's what it. That's how it looks. I'm in a puppet field. If I move this way, I somehow. Oh, that's what's doing it. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, what's making me disappear like that? All right. Let's see. It is January 1st. 2023. I'll see this over here in the field. Sunday morning. A whole slate of football games to review. Usually joining me is Buddy Money Fair. However, Buddy will be on scene to watch the Dolphins play the Patriots in Foxborough. Brother Ray is MIA. That means missing in action. It should be called MIL, missing in laziness. Yep, I said it. So let's get into some games. Let us figure out how we're going to do this. I have an extremely good grasp on today's games. So, you know what? I've been on a hot streak. If you're going to get one guy, you might as well get me. Right? Wrong. Here we go. Slate of games. This might be a short version of the show, but you're going to get all the picks of what I have. Let us now go through. Ready? First game on the slate. Carolina Panthers play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Carolina is getting 3.5 at Tampa. Okay, let's use our thinking caps. Tom Brady sucks. He's like 1-13 against the spread, something like that, in the last 14 weeks. Basically, since he broke up with his wife, he can't beat the spread. That's pretty much a fact. He's like, I think it's 1-13 or 1-12 against the spread. So Brady's done. It's like watching like a wounded deer. Go with the Panthers plus 3.5. The Browns travel to Washington to play the Commies. Now, what are the Browns playing for? Nothing. What are the Commies playing for? Well, they think they still have a chance. They're trying to squeeze their way into the playoffs. But let's be honest. They both suck, these teams. Well, maybe the Commies don't suck, but they're not my division, so they suck. But I like the Commies to win by 1. I'm taking out the Deshaun Watson douchebag factor because we all know with Deshaun Watson, there is a douchebag factor. In fact, we call it the rub-in. And I don't think he looks good at all yet. So, again, Commies have something to play for at home against the Browns. Take them -1. Traveling to Philadelphia, a place I would not want to travel to. I've been there, had a great time, but I hate the Eagles. So I can't say anything good about Philadelphia, although I did have a good time. Saints travel there. The Eagles are -5.5 Everybody's been jumping on the Saints for some reason. I say no, Eagles beat the Saints by 5.5. They're just that much better than the Saints. Fact. I mean, fact. These games this is one of the easier weeks. Cardinals travel to Atlanta to play the Falcons. Now, here's the big to-do. Everybody's going with the Cardinals. With the Falcons minus the 6.5. But they're starting a rookie quarterback. 6.5 points with a rookie quarterback? Really? No. I'll take the Cardinals plus 6.5. Falcons will not win with. This kid hasn't even thrown one yet, so he's going to come in today and you give him plus 6.5, minus 6.5. No, it doesn't work out that way. The Cardinals cover plus 6.5. Jaguars travel to Houston. Jaguars are favored by 3 against Houston. Now, why only 3? Well, it's on the road, and the Jaguars are up and down. But if you match these teams up, these expansion teams, it's odd how they pick the teams this year, the games, right? Carolina and Tampa Bay, they both kind of have those helmets, down south, those helmets I wouldn't wear. The Browns and the Commies are 2 of the ugliest looking uniforms. You get the Saints and the Eagles. I don't know. I just hate maybe both way they both are shimmery. And then you get the Cardinals and Falcons, which is, the Birds. And then now the Jags and Texans, which is the expansion teams. The Jags will win by 3. Write that down twice. Jags by 3. Moving over to the Bears traveling to Detroit Rock City. The Bears are favored by, the Lions favored by 5.5. The Bears stink. They're a cluster, what. And the Lions still play hard and are playing for something. So I take the Lions minus 5.5. Dolphins, for all you New England Patriot fans, the New England Patriot fan pick alert. I should have a banner. I'm going to talk to the owner. We'll get a banner. It'll go across and it'll say Patriots time, Patriots pick. With the Patriots, they're going to get beat today. Sorry. I'm sorry, Patriot fans, and I'm not doing it just because I don't like the Patriots. This has nothing to do with this. This is picking. This is all business and money. Go with the Dolphins plus 2.5. Just trust me. The Patriots don't even want this game. Broncos versus the Chiefs. Now, I know, everyone's going to call me crazy, but that's okay, because I just might be. But I like the Broncos in this game, plus 13 against the Chiefs. I will go as far as to say I can see an upset in this game. I can see an ugly game go this way and that way. The Broncos make a couple of gimme plays, and they cover. But I'm also going to put them on a short parlay of long shots because I like the Broncos to win today. I know that sounds ridiculously bizarre, but I like the Broncos to win outright. Colts versus the Giants, the G-Men. The game of the day, the game of the week, just the game, period. The game. Let's talk about the Giants versus the Colts. Okay. Colts aren't going to score more than 15 points. Wink Martindale, the Giants defensive coordinator, is like I think he's like 11-1 against rookie quarterbacks. Also, as far as averaging points, the over under for the Colts scoring today is like 15.5 or 16.5, something like that. That's what they've averaged all year, like 16.5. So that's not even added Nick Foles. So you add Nick Foles to that, who last week looked like he didn't even know the names of the receivers. He wasn't even throwing it in the same area codes. Now, is the douche factor in effect here? Yes. Because will Nick Foles out of nowhere try to ruin the Giants? Yes. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. With Xavier McKinney, if he can suit up, if Adoree Jackson plays, which I think he will, that Giants defense has been getting better and better and better. And you're watching all the young guys, Thibodeau, Lawrence, my favorite, Aziz. He keeps getting hurt, but we got freaks. It's coming. The Giants are going to lump the Colts up and make it to the NFL playoffs. I need to hold on a second. Let me just say this one more time. All right. It is now 11:15 a.m. on January 1st, 2023. I, King Miguel, legitpodcast.com, legit fantasy football, legit paranormal. Anyways, I, King Miguel, hereby declare that the New York Football Giants win today's game and make it to the NFL playoffs. The NFL playoffs, the Giants, they're going to win today. They're going to win today, and they're going to be in the playoffs. And I guess why I'm puzzled and I seem to be confused and befuddled. How are those adjectives? The idea of the Giants in the playoffs. If you've been a Giants fan for the last couple of years, you understand that it's like an oxymoron. Those words should be in a sentence together. Like by week 5 in the last 4 years, I was already looking at the draft. Like I can't believe that I'm still really watching football this late in the season. Usually I'd be just now browsing it, betting the games, doing that, the fantasy stuff, in and out. Now I'm watching the games late in the year, into the new year, for Christ's sakes. Like, you would have told me the Giants are going to play one game in 2023 that's going to be really important, like a playoff game, I would have been like, no way. But hear me out on this. Saquon, young offensive line that's growing. Daniel Jones, you can hate him. I don't care. Daniel Jones is exactly what we need. We're going to sign him to a 1-year extension. I'm telling you how it's going to go down. He will get the franchise tag. They will re-sign Saquon Barkley to a deal that involves Odell coming over. And then you're going to get one more wide receiver maybe in the draft. You're going to end up with Wandale. You're going to have Odell, and you're going to have a rookie pick, maybe one more free agent. You got Bellinger at tight end. The offensive line is only going to get better if you get one more guard in there. Then what? Then the Giants are really good. Then the Giants have an attacking defense with a lot of guys that can come at you, and they have an offense with a running back, arguably the best in the league, and he'll finally a quarterback who will have people to throw to. Because if I see Daniel Jones throw to Richie James one more time and hit him in the chest and it bounce on the turf, I'm going to lose my shit. Like, Richie James, yeah, you had some great plays, but I'm 49 years old. I'm telling you this much. If I ran a slant, I'd catch the ball. I don't care how hard he threw it. I don't care if I broke my fingers. I'd catch the goddamn ball, Richie. Jesus Christopher. Anyways, Giants minus 5.5. Moving on to the 4 o'clock games, and I'm very confident about the 4 o'clock games. Very confident. I feel like they did this on purpose. Jets go to Seattle. Seattle's favored. The Jets are favored by 1.5. The Jets beat the Seahawks. The Seahawks are fighting for something right now, but the Jets got to show that they don't stink, and they don't stink. They just have a quarterback problem. That problem can get really big because Zach Wilson's gone. There's no way Zach Wilson is back next year. There is no way Zach Wilson comes back next year. Just going to keep saying that. Like, the team hates him. That's why Matt Ryan got benched with the Colts. I mean, the fact that the Colts are trotting it, what's his face out again? Foles. Like, Nick Foles is like, he's a prime example of why the Philadelphia Eagles suck and they don't understand football. And let me explain to you more into that. The Philadelphia Eagles have a statue of Nick Foles, and I'm not going to even name the coach who screwed the Giants over in the draft and by throwing that game when he put the quarterback in with the Mickey Mouse hands. I digress. The Eagles always try to screw the Giants over. Always. But the Jets will beat the Seahawks by 1.5 at 4 o'clock. Write that down. 49ers travel to the Raiders. Not a very far travel, but they go there anyways. The Raiders are getting 9.5. That's a lot of points, is it not? Do you see that many points coming out of the San Francisco quarterback? I don't. I like the Raiders plus 9.5. I think that's a really safe bet. Vikings travel to Green Bay. Vikings plus 3. Green Bay, obviously, minus 3. Rodgers. I had Aaron Rodgers as my fantasy quarterback, and I'm not in the Super Bowl. corruptible. And let me tell you why. The son of a bitch can't throw more than one touchdown a week. Aaron Rodgers can't throw two touchdowns in a week. It's just impossible. He seems like he's so fed up with the world, right? And then the Vikings are this team that hangs in there with everybody and beats them by one. I know this. I'm a Giants fan. So I'm getting +3 with Minnesota against the Packers, and he can only throw a touch. Give me Minnesota +3. The Rams play the Chargers in the Battle of Los Angeles. And the answer to the Battle of Los Angeles is nobody wants to win it. No one cares. No one cares. But the Rams are playing the Chargers. Chargers favored by 6.5. It's way too much at home against the Rams. Yeah, the Rams are playing like shit, but they still have tools to stay in the game and lose by 3. 8 o'clock game, Steelers go to Ravens. Listen, Kenny Pickett averages 0.5 touchdowns a week. 0.5, Kenny Pickett. Najee Harris, the run game. This is going to be a really ugly game. And I would take the under on Kenny Pickett throwing a touchdown. I don't think he throws one. But I also like the Ravens -2. The Monday night game, the Bills-Bengals. Right after this, I will go through all the games and give you a quick review. But the Bills and the Bengals, or as my friends on the show like to say, the Bengals, with Susanna Hoffs, whatever you want to pronounce it. It's a pick 'em. So who do you like better? Who's a better team? I mean, who looks like they're getting hot? Who's the better team? The better team is the Bills. The Buffalo Bills are better. They're playing in Cincinnati. Doesn't matter. Does not affect Josh Allen at all, actually. So take the Bills to win that game. Here is a review now. And I will go over what I picked, the parlays that I put together. And for those of you looking to put $5 down on long shots, I have your long shot pick. All right, recap. I like Carolina over Tampa Bay. Well, Carolina getting +3.5 against Tampa Bay. I like the Commies -1 against Cleveland. I like the Eagles -5.5 against the Saints. I like the Jaguars -3 against the Texans. Cardinals +6.5 against the Falcons. Lions, oh my. Lions -5.5. Go with the Dolphins +2.5. The Broncos +13. The Giants -5.5. The Jets -1.5. The Raiders +9.5. The Vikings +3. The Rams +6.5. And the Ravens -2. And then Monday night, don't forget, the Bills win. Now, let's talk about the parlays. 1 o'clock, I like the Commies, Cards, and Jags. 3-team parlay right there. Cardinals +6.5. Commies -1. Jags -3. Why? Again, I said it. Jags are a better team than the Texans. The Cards are getting 6.5 against a rookie QB that we've never seen throw a quarterback with Atlanta. So you take the points +6.5. And then the Commies have to win. And they're playing the Brownies, so take the Commies -1. So that's that 3-team parlay. Second one would be the Lions, Dolphins, Giants, and Broncos. Lions -5.5, Dolphins +2.5, Giants -5.5, Broncos +13. Your 4 o'clock parlay, the Jets -1.5, the Raiders +6.5, the Rams +6.5, the Vikings +3. The one you can bet if you want to do a bomber, if you want to trust me and just put 5 on it, I got 5 on it. Right here. Put $5 on the Cardinals and Broncos to win. It will win you $103. So for a $5 bet, you'll win $103. If you go with the Broncos and the Cardinals to win outright. And they're going to win outright. If you've been watching the show, which I don't think you have, but if you have, you know that I pick upsets all the time. And I'm the NFC East whisperer. And I am the New York Giants fan. We are the New York Giants fans. Every person I know out there that is a New York Giants fan, we're going to stop right here, and I'm going to speak to you. Look, I know it's been hard. I know it's been hard. We've had coaches that are just mopes. Like we had Joe Judge. The best thing Joe Judge did was recover a fumble in practice in the mud. We've had Pat Shurmur. Pat Shurmur's a coordinator. That's it. Just like the guy over in Denver. You can coordinate. But you don't have to coach. I know what it's been like. I know how it's so sad after week 5. Usually after week 5, we put away our Giants gear. I usually move on to basketball, and I start looking at the draft. But here we are at the end of the season, basically. I think there's 2 weeks left. We win this game, we're in the goddamn playoffs. The New York Football Giants, your New York Football Giants, will be in the NFL playoffs. I know I keep saying that over and over again, but I'm trying to get a point across to you. As a Giants fan, I'm telling you, they win today's game. They win. The defense, here's more so. I'll break it down for you a little bit better. The defense, the Giants defense will keep Colts under 16 points. The over-under for the Colts is like 16 to 16 and a half. They're going to score, right? They average that. I keep saying this. They average that every week, 16 and a half. Now, throw in Nick Foles, who last week made that 16 and a half look like 50. Like, oh my God, if they could ever score that much again. Nick Foles could not. Dude, he couldn't. If he was in a boat in the middle of the ocean, he couldn't throw it into the water. Like, he was awful. I mean, again, is the douchebag factor in effect? Hell yes. But screw him. We owe Nick Foles. The Giants have the whole organization. We have something for him. So he represents that team that did that to us. So we'll see him today. I'm telling you, the Giants are a lock. Last time, going over the winners, guys, I'm hitting 70%. So if you take all 10 games and you put like $100 down on each game, I know that's $1,000. I do math. My point is, you're going to end up way ahead. So again, last time for you is Panthers plus 3.5, Commies -1, Eagles -5.5, Cardinals plus 6.5, Jags -3, Lions -5.5, Dolphins plus 2.5, Broncos plus 13, Giants -5.5, Jets -1.5, Raiders plus 9.5, Vikings plus 3, Rams plus 6.5, Ravens -2, the Bills on Monday night. And the parlays, again, 1 o'clock, Commies, Cards, and Jags. Lions, Dolphins, Giants, Broncos. Those are 2 parlays at 1 o'clock. Go with the Commies, Cards, and Jags. The Lions, Dolphins, Giants, Broncos with the spread, right? Your 4 o'clock against the spread is Jets, Raiders, Rams, Vikings. That one, write it down. Go put money on it. Go now and bet that one. Jets, Raiders, Rams, Vikings with the points. I mean, bet every parlay I'm giving you because then the Bomber one, again, if you want to believe in me that I can pick upsets, I like the Cardinals and the Broncos. If you put $5 on the Cardinals and Broncos to win, it pays 103. So for $5, 2 teams have to win for 103. It's like betting the lottery. And I'm telling you, you have a really good chance today because of the way the games are going to play out. It's going to be an ugly, ugly game with Denver and KC. They know each other. People forget that. They're in division, the same division. It gets ugly. Games like that get ugly. And the Broncos define ugly. From uniform to the way they play, the Broncos are ugly, right? Like, am I wrong in saying that certain teams should go back to their old helmets? Like, the Broncos need to go back to the old blue, right? The Giants need to go back to the Giants. The Patriots need to go back to the white Pat Patriot. Like, the Elvis one is a Brady moment, right? Kill it. Move on. Go back to Pat the Patriot or redesign them. Just get rid of those ugly helmets. And don't go back to the Bledsoe blue. That was the worst uniform ever when they rolled that one out. Other teams to change uniforms I would like to see. You know, when I really sit and think about it, the Commies, I can't stand their uniforms. They look like they should be in the USFL, not the NFL. And the fact that they went with Commanders is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. You got the Commanders sitting in front of you, and then you had the Hogs. You could have went with the Hogs. That was like an in-house name. The Redskins fans and offensive line created that name, and it was beloved, just like the dog pound is in Cleveland, right? Why is there a dog pound in Cleveland? Cleveland aren't dogs, they're Browns. I know. It's the same sort of thing, but I digress. It's going to be a wild week this week. If you're in fantasy, here's the main advice I can give you, and you need to listen to this. Don't get cute. Play your studs. That's it. Play the guys that got you there. Play the studs. Don't get cute. Because every year, somebody right around this time gets cute. And what I mean by that is, they got last second, they're like, oh my God, I'm going to take out maybe I'll sit down Saquon because I think this backup running back might score 2 touchdowns. It's like, dude, stick with your studs. Just don't be that guy. Just ride it out. You win or lose by your team. Don't get cute. Again, fantasy advice for today. Start your studs. Don't get cute. I'm going to wrap this show up in about 3 minutes. What I want to say is this. Tonight we got Legit Paranormal at 7:05. Also, it is 2023. So our new lineup will begin rolling out in about a week or two. We're going to have a show on Monday, name to be determined. On Tuesday, it's going to be a rotating show at 8 o'clock, 8:05. This week, it'll be legit. It's a legit metaphysical world with Auntie Dale. And that goes every other Tuesday at 8:05. And on the Tuesdays that she's not doing her podcast, we will have legit open bar paranormal. That will be me hosting it for an hour. And anybody wants to stop in can stop in, and we discuss paranormal. Just like as if you're at Bar Fangool and it's an open bar, you can talk. Wednesday nights, 8:05, will be the Legit Paranormal News. We will be covering news in the paranormal. That's legit. I guess that's why we call it Legit Paranormal News. Makes sense. It was kind of redundant. Who wrote that down? Was it who? Oh. That's going to be a great show. We're going to have a couple of new hosts joining us. We'll be delivering the news weekly. We'll also be showing any clips or evidence from teams that have been sending us stuff. Just like if it makes the news, it'll be a big one. Because then on Thursday night, we have at 8:05, again, Legit Paranormal Clips. That will be strictly just reviewing clips, photos that you send in that's of paranormal nature. So that's Thursday night. Friday night, 9:05, we have Bigfoot Benoit doing his Bigfoot Encrypted's legit Bigfoot Encrypted show at 9:05 on a Friday. So we have shows on Monday at 8. We have a show rotating on Tuesday at 8. So there's 2 shows. We have a show on Wednesday at 8. We have 2 shows on Thursday. We have a football at 7. And then again, Paranormal Clips at 8. And then we have 1 show on Friday at 9 o'clock. That's the Bigfoot Encrypteds. That's 5 nights a week of live streaming shows. By my count, that's like 1, 2. It's like too many. But it's like 4 or 5 new paranormal shows. So the best part about it all, though, is you can go directly to www.legitpodcast.com. All of our shows will be live streaming from the site. So when people ask me, well, how do I find your show? Hey, Mike, how do I find your show? I don't know where to look. Where do I look? Do I go on Facebook? Where do I look? How do I look on YouTube? How do I look? Now you just go to legitpodcast.com and we will be live streaming from the page. We made it easy. When you want to watch our shows, Monday night, 8 o'clock, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, Thursday night, 7 and 8, Friday night, 9 o'clock, Sunday night, 11 in the morning, and then Sunday night at 7. So the only night I'm not doing a show is Saturday, which thank God, we're not doing a show on Saturday because I need one day where I'm not doing a show. So with the lineup rolling out, there'll be at least one show Monday through Friday. Some nights, 2 shows. Technically, it's Sunday through Friday. Just no shows on Saturday. Sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I get so much going on. If I showed you the wall behind me, we got a lot of content coming out, working with a lot of great people. I'm very, very, very excited. This is going to be a gigantic step for us. It's going to be a huge endeavor. It's going to be an ass ache, but I'm willing to take it on and make it as great as it is. So for those of you tuning in, I'll wrap it up again. Cardinals plus 3.5, Commies minus 1, Eagles minus 5.5, Cardinals plus 6.5. It's Carolina. I meant Carolina. Carolina plus 3.5, Commies minus 1, Eagles minus 5.5, Cardinals plus 6.5, Jags minus 3, Lions minus 5.5, Dolphins plus 2.5, Broncos plus 13, the Giants minus 5.5. Give me a break, guy. The Jets minus 1.5, Raiders plus 9.5, Vikings plus 3, Rams plus 6.5, Ravens tonight minus 2 because Kenny Pickett doesn't even average a touchdown a week. And then Monday night, take the Bills because they're a better team. Fact. Fact or fiction? Fact. Again, parlays, Commies, Cards, and Jags. Lions, Dolphins, Giants, Broncos. 4 o'clocks are Jets, Raiders, Rams, Vikings. You go on to the night's game if you bet my picks and you win, which you will. Let it ride on the Ravens minus 2, and then Monday night, let it ride on the Bills to win. It's a pick, so take the Bills. Guys, this is legit fantasy football from legitpodcast.com. Now, for all the legit sports, for the whole legit paranormal lineup that we have, if you want to see the shows when they stream live, so basically you tune into our website every night around 7 or 8 o'clock, we will have it streamed live from our site. So I don't have to answer that question. How do I find your show? How do I find your show? I wanted to watch it, but how do I find your show? I was going to read your book, but I never got around to it. You were in a band? I don't know why I do it. I don't know why I do it, but I still do it. You know, I think I do it just because, some people don't like it. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I should lay down on the couch right now. I'll lay down on the couch and start telling you guys. No, I'll wrap it up. Oh, and for the record, I know I just named 5 new shows, but we're going to be having a daily check-in show that'll be only about 20 minutes, but I will check in on you. And the puppets are coming back. Yeah, that's why I'm in a puppet cartoon yard. Yeah, puppets coming back. Pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. So little Jimmy goes over to this house with little Johnny and his little Johnny's grandmother. And little Jimmy just sits down on the couch, and Johnny goes and talks with his grandmother. So Jimmy's just sitting there, and he sees a bowl of peanuts. And Jimmy just starts eating peanuts, and he doesn't realize, but he just keeps eating the peanuts. And they're gone for like 10 minutes. So he ate almost a whole bowl. So the grandma comes back with Johnny, and Jimmy's like, oh, what do I say? Like, how do I tell the grandmother? And then Jimmy says to the grandmother, I'm really sorry I ate all the peanuts off the coffee table in the living room. I'm sorry. And Johnny's grandmother says to Jimmy, that's okay, son. Ever since I lost my teeth, I've only been able to suck the chocolate off them. It's gross, right? Gross. Guys, it's me, Mike Lepre, King Mike L, legit fantasy football, legit paranormal, legitpodcast.com. That's where you need to be. Just go to legitpodcast.com. All our shows will be streaming live from the website. If you go there Sunday through Friday, you're going to catch a show at least at 7 or 8 or 9 o'clock every night. Unbelievable. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And the less I have to do will be the better. Guys, enjoy the games. Go Big Blue. 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 You got to make the goddamn playoffs today. You got to make the goddamn playoffs today, and you will. You will, Big Blue. You will. It's me, Mike Lepre, King Mike L. Join us tonight for Legit Paranormal at 7:05. Enjoy the games, folks. Rewind, get my picks, write them down, bet them. Tell me how much you win. I want to know how much everybody won.